Hello.
Hello.
Hi, everyone.
Hello, hello.
How do you do today? Jen and I are back for our very Potato Wednesday. Seems like a
Jason
suitable
is here, and he'll be here soon.
thing. Excellent, eh?
Just got back from a lunch, and he has to just do a couple work pieces of business, and then he'll be in it.
Yeah. I forgot that he had stuff to do
He
during
was
lunch
gone.
today. I forgot.
Hello.
Today.
Righty Stream stuff. Hello. And today it's Lumberjack Tim with the dark blue. We'll give it 20 minutes and see if that changes.
Yeah, I'd be very curious to see how that works.
We're gonna do a little experiment today.
All right, so Jen and chat. So I have some thoughts here. So this army is gonna be, or these two things belong in the same army, right? So I want to put some of this verdigreed bronze somewhere on this model. The question is, do I want it to be this face, or do I want to do some of the trim on here? Let me zoom in because this is all black, so it's kind of hard to tell.
Well, Tim, it changed already.
Some of the
It's
trim
already
here,
not the dark color.
because I could do this bottom trim and this center trim, and then I could have the rest be stone, which would look really cool.
I don't know enough about what any of this stuff is.
I mean,
So
as
get
far
it.
as
So okay, so what are you wanting to?
so I want to put this bronze color,
Yeah.
right, on this model. And I'm thinking of either doing the head, because this is like a head of a statue.
I mean,
So-
is it the Statue of Liberty?
No, this is a
Huh?
Greek statue of some
Oh,
sort, or
okay.
a Roman statue of some kind. Or do this kind of raised trim in that color.
So would a statue have been bronze though?
Potentially.
I think that could be kind of cool.
Yeah, but I think most of the statues in the
Like marble.
were made out of marble back in that area.
Yeah.
Or era.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I'd be curious. Does anybody in chat know in the Roman era whether or not they did predominantly marble statues or if they did bronze statues? Because I know
face as bronze and stone as marble.
face as bronze and stone as marble. Well, that's the man himself. Hi.
Myth? Legend?
Yes.
Yes.
The man, the myth, the legend.
Yes.
I'll wait for him to...
Have you stopped being a horrible person?
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
I'm only a horrible person 20% of the day.
Okay, just checking.
And today is not that 20%.
Just checking.
Mm-hmm. Now you just get delightful me. Which is the opposite 20% of the day.
You buying this, Jen? Delightful? Is that the adjective we should use? Jury's out. Jury's out! Hi, chat. How are you? Scrumbly Dumpus?
Scrumbly Dumpus.
How's that guy been?
I don't know. Probably looking at people's eyeballs.
You're with Adam at the warehouse? Tell Adam he is very welcome. Tell him thank you for being great. I don't know what Adam does, but thank him for being great and using our paints.
He told me what his position was. He's the event, organized play guy for...
Oh, very cool.
For, what is it? I
Song
believe
of Ice
it's
and
Song of
Fire,
Ice and Fire?
X-Wing.
I think it's
no,
just
that's CMON.
Song of Ice and Fire, yeah.
Song of Ice and Fire. Fuse, Baby J said he's a potato this Wednesday.
No, that was not what I said.
You're a potato?
He's in charge of tabletop miniatures. Nice.
Wait. You're
And
a potato?
events in OP. No. Look at our tag for today's name for the thing.
Can't think of a good title, so potato. That's actually one of the best we've had.
High five, Jen. Jen came in. She's like, I don't know what we're gonna name it today. What should we name it?
Potato.
I was like,
I can see this whole conversation
lost.
happening. Actually, I didn't
I
even
got
have to be here
nothing.
for it. I still get the enjoyment.
No, because I was like typing, let's paint. And then Jordan's like, just do something like can't think of anything. Potato.
Oh, I'm a banana.
Do you guys need any more
Do we
stuff?
need any more
I'm at the
stuff? We
warehouse.
need-
Let me know.
If you've never seen it, you need to Google the rejected cartoons. It's the most amazing stuff ever.
Okay.
This artist who said he was submitting animations for various companies and he always got rejected, so he was going to just publish the rejected ones. Obviously, it's a joke. None of
Sure,
them were actually
yeah.
submissions, but they are absolutely freaking amazing.
Rejected.
It's called Rejected. Just do Rejected Cartoon.
Cartoons.
It's amazing. What? Oh, have you seen it? They're amazing. I'm a banana.
I'm a
I'm
banana.
a spoon. Oh, this stuff is
so
great.
Phoenix says most of the surviving Roman sculptures are in marble.
My spoon is too
Bronze was
big.
just as favored. Unfortunately, this metal
Oh,
has
they're
always
little
been in high
videos.
demand for many applications, resulting in significantly less examples left to admire. Got it. In less quantity, the Romans also used precious metals. So it sounds like they used both, but the bronze was taken and used for other things
Oh,
over
it's
the
a
course of the
movie.
centuries.
It's a short film. This rejected cartoons.
It's amazing.
I
yeah.
can't. Yeah.
Oh, not for right now.
Okay.
Megalodon Jaws wants to know if we want
Oh,
any more
Punisher.
Do we
I
need
hope
any
that's
more
from the
stuff? I answered
cartoon.
that weeks ago.
stuff.
The answer is no. But Gabe would like whatever Massive Darkness things exist if we don't have them all. But I'm not going to ask for that. I'm just saying what Gabe would say if he were standing here. Gabe has fallen in love with Massive Darkness. So you guys have created
It is really fun.
an absolute horror case at our office. Half of our game area is now just Massive Darkness.
That's true. It's so
Legit can't eat lunch in there.
Can't
It's
eat
just
lunch.
Massive Darkness.
Nope.
He stays
It is
late.
really true.
I can't get him to go home.
I got you. I'll get something out tomorrow.
Damn it!
Oh,
Yeah, exactly, Punisher. For the love of God and all that is holy, my anus is bleeding. That's in that rejected. It's
Well,
so
that's
hilarious.
what I just was confirming with Punisher that was from the cartoon and that he doesn't like
Is
need
it ticks
medical
or
attention.
mosquitoes that come out of the nipples in that cartoon?
Oh,
I
my
don't
goodness.
want to watch this now.
Yeah,
It's hilarious.
I know.
Don't let me
Sure,
scare it
I
away
feel
from
that
you
all day.
because it is absolutely ball-busting hilarious.
Okay.
Speaking of which, I drove by Sugar 44 and I know the new thing on the sign.
What is it?
So a customer got glitter down his pants. That's pretty nuts. That's our local strip club that has the
Yes.
funny billboard out front.
Don't sweat the petty stuff, pet the sweaty stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was the
That's
one for
pretty
today.
good.
That was the one for today.
Yeah.
He got glitter down his pants. It's pretty
Uh,
nuts.
Okay, so here's my question. So this is the question that I was talking about at the beginning of you hopping into the stream today. So I have this fancy model, right? And I want to include some of this bronze, right,
Okay.
on it.
Mhm.
So I'm thinking about making some element of this base have bronze
The thing
on
she's
it.
standing on.
So she's kind of floating. And there's two things that she could technically be standing on, right? I could make the head
The big bronze statue.
bronze.
Yes.
Or I could do the trim
No.
on that.
That
or
would
I
all be
could do-
stone. There would be no trim.
Okay, cool. Then there it is. Easy enough.
I used a wet palette yesterday.
Are you gonna use one again today?
Yeah, I got to re-wet the paper, though. I got to do all the horrible things I hate about wet palettes, so away we go. By the way, the paint on it is all dry. Great job, wet palette. I leave you alone for one day and can't do anything you were advertised to do. Not operating properly, wet palette.
How was your lunch? Was it speed dating?
It was speed dating.
Was it?
Very strange.
Yeah.
You were speed dating?
I walked in and
On
I
lunch?
told him that. I said, so Jen tells me that it's only lunch, or it's just lunch is a speed dating thing. And one of the women laughed at me.
Yeah, she knew. Yeah.
None of the other people knew what I was talking about. All the guys looked at me like, what?
Okay, Slavic said I want to see the setup process from Jason. Do you want me to go full screen for you so that you can show what you're doing with this web palette?
Oh, am I supposed to do that? Sure.
Well, I don't know. Try
Here we
it.
go.
Okay, here we go.
Full screen. Full screen ahead, Scotty. Power to deflectors. We're nerding out. This is the incorrect way to do this only because I'm not in the kitchen. But I put some water in the basin, and then I'm just using the sponge to make sure the water is spread out. You don't want to load up a ton of water in here, right? You don't want to float the sponge, right? But just get the entire basin covered with water, and then get both sides of the sponge wet, however you decide to do that. I just dump it in here one side and then the other side. And then since I'm lazy, I'm just going to put this same piece of paper down on here. Ta-da! Like that. And then we're going to lightly do some water on the top of the paper. Right? I'm going to take a brush. I have a small enough brush here. I'm going to take a brush, kind of scoot the water along the top surface of the paper. Right?
So would you only put the water on top of that paper if the paint was fully dry like it is?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, even do it. Now, I would normally squeegee this on the side of the sink or something like that, but I'm just going to try to make this happen here, and I'm just going to kind of squeegee the paper off real quick. See all that water that was on the top of the paper that's in there? Right. And I probably want to wipe that around the top of the sponge. And then we'll just set this back down so it sits flat. There you go. Done deal. Normally, I would go and take this out to the sink in the kitchen here at the office and wet the paper on both sides, right? And then squeegee it on the side of the sink. So I'll generally put the paper in the sink, and then I take my ruler, because that's the only big straight edge I have. So with the paper along the side of the sink, wet on both sides, and I put the ruler on the side of the sink, and then you just take the paper out, and it squeegees it, and then you put it on top of the sponge. The idea being that you don't want paper, or you don't want water sitting on top of the paper, because that over thins your paint, and that's not the goal here.
Bakamar said, Jason, this sounds like an ID10T error.
Yes.
Identity error?
Yes.
Oh,
I don't know what he's talking about.
I get it.
There you go.
That you're using a wet palette, maybe? I don't know.
This is a midlife crisis.
T. Schmidt is painting out of his go bag today.
Ooh, nice.
Driving mom around a doctor thing. So you're
Nice.
just like sitting in your car with it? Or are you
I mean,
going
that's-
into the doctor's with her
that's
and
cool.
setting it up? Either way, super awesome.
Nice.
What's Hometown? I missed 2 days in chaos, cats and dogs living together. Exactly.
What'd you get for leave me
We
alone?
need you
To my own
we need
devices.
your supervision.
We do that a lot. Ever
James
since you
Mercer said,
kicked
did
me
you
out
not
of
put
this
the
side of the
lid on the
building.
wet palette?
What? There's a lid?
Oh, idiot. ID10T. Even though it sounds like identity.
Well, it is. I didn't.
Idiot.
Identity.
ID10T.
But he's taking it. Read
It's
it
idiot.
as
Yeah.
IDIOT.
All right, yeah. See, now if you had put them together like that, I would have gotten it. But the dashes.
I'm an idiot.
Funny thing is, now that I'm doing this, I'm starting to discover that this definitely looks like it's been like sheared like rock in the back. Ah, screw it. Who cares? It'll look cool.
Did you not put the lid on the wet palette? Lumberjack Tim said I just put my lid on and my paper and sponge stay wet.
Yeah, whatever. Also makes mildew.
Yes.
Oh, you're okay. So you took the bag with you to your sister's house. Doctor visit is done. Cataract surgery is stupid fast. Oh. I think they've really refined that whole process.
You should also clean your paper. I'm doing what you should not be doing, which is putting paint right back on top of yesterday's paper.
Usually you just get a new piece of
Because
paper.
all of the dried paint is now running the risk of mixing in with my wet paint, which gives people the texture that they hate so much. Plus realize that the paper over time will get to a point where it starts to release particles into your paint too. Every time you wet and dry it.
Baka,
will
did I miss a
start to break
question
down.
about a wash mix from you? Oh, yes, I did. Sorry. Okay, not because I'm looking for cheating help on the challenge or anything, but if you were to make a thin brown wash, what is the ratio to warm brown, black, glaze, and wash medium?
Warm brown, black, glaze and wash.
To make a thin brown wash.
I'd probably put 50%, like, however much. Let's see here. I'd probably do 3 to 1 brown to black. If you want to put black in it, like if you want to have it be more of like a darker brown. And then I would add another equal amount. So if that's 4 parts, put 4 parts of glaze and wash medium. And then I would thin it down twice as much.
Browntown, Omicron. Hello.
Omicron.
Omicron.
Ermikern. This is the new wad tomato N.
It's stuck.
Yeah.
It's stuck. It's Ermikern now.
Omicron. A gift card to squeegee the smooth paper. Probably a good idea. Credit card. Something like that. That works well. That works well, too.
They just laser pew pew the Cadillac. Cataracts now. Cataracts.
They laser pew pew Cadillacs.
Surprised Scrumbly Dumpus isn't getting in on this conversation.
Okay, so I have a great story from lunch.
Okay.
Oh, all right. Hit us.
So-
Better
because I
than
think
the
you asked if my lunch
glitter
was over.
pants?
Huh?
Better than glitter pants?
Yeah, oh yeah, much
Okay.
better. So I went to a lunch meeting today with a bunch of business owners from the Valley.
Wait, hold on before you go any further. Are you going to talk about anyone that could potentially be like, oh, that Jason guy does a stream. Let me tune in and see what it is?
No.
Okay.
You mean like am I going to say bad things about
Yeah.
people? Why would I do that? No. I've never done that in my life. So I went to a lunch with a bunch of business owners from the Valley, and it was at a pizza joint, which by the way is not a pizza joint.
No?
If you look on Google, it says liquor store and pizza restaurant. Totally not sold right. We need to contact them and teach them about how to use Google correctly, because that makes it seem like the place you don't want to be. Starting with liquor store, don't lead with that, because
Yeah.
they do have a liquor store there, but it's like $100+ bottles of scotch.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
ridiculous.
Oh, so
And
fancy.
pizza is on the menu, but so are about 8,000 other things.
Oh, jeez.
So it's like a very high-end diner almost. It has sandwiches and salads and all sorts of entrees and pastas. And one of the best things on the menu, I was told by everybody, is like the brisket grilled cheese sandwich. So it's not a pizza joint. It's not a pizzeria. But I was told that we were going to a pizzeria. Anyway.
Did you get pizza?
Yeah,
So
I
I'm
was
sitting
just
there.
going to say,
And-
did you get pizza?
No, I didn't. I got a salad.
Okay.
But so the guy that I'm sitting next to that I talk to the most it turns out is Chris Cardinal, the guy that got me into this group.
Good.
And so it's good to catch up with him. But he was talking to me about a business that he works with, one of his clients, and he does custom software developing and migration services and things like that develop back ends for logistics for big companies and their web stuff. So basically like building fancy websites for e-commerce, right? But so this company is an adult toy company.
Okay.
Okay.
Got it.
And he was telling me all the hassles that they're having are exactly the hassles we're having as far as like production requirements, demand outpacing production. They manufacture everything right here in the Valley and da da da. And I go, wait a minit, there's a dildo manufacturer right here in the Valley. So we kept talking about it or whatever. And
Jean-Luc Dildo.
so the dildo Beggins. So during the course of the conversation, we're talking about this company that he's working with. He's giving me all these experiences he's had as he's been helping them navigate and consulting with them on everything they need to do for managing stocking and production requirements. And they've got 55 SKUs and 5 different sizes of every SKU. And he's going into this great depth. And then he pulls out his phone and he goes, "Let me show you the solutions that we came up with." So he pulls up the website for this company that makes
Oh
dildos,
my God.
adult toys. And so we're sitting there at lunch, and I'm engrossed because the story is he's telling me all these things, and I'm thinking, okay, great, I can learn a lot from this use case that he's got here. And so we're just there nonchalantly looking at his cell phone, right? And there's a table full of college girls right here.
Nice.
And here's 2 old men
They were just there
on his
having lunch.
big-ass iPhone 15 with the huge screen, of
Yeah.
course,
Showing each other.
browsing adult toys that are some of the weirdest colors you've ever seen, because their big claim to fame is they do all custom colors because they do pigmentation and molding and all the silicone stuff right there in their factory. So it's very similar to a lot of what we do as far as mixing and development of paints. And so I'm sitting there, I'm just totally engrossed, and he's like, da 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 da, and he's looking at this, and he goes, "If you pull this one up, it has 3D render, and you can rotate it around, and I can choose the colors." I mean, it's legit without thinking about it, we made the best meme ever. Because we look over at this table and these girls are looking at us.
And they're like,
There's like 2 of them that are looking at us, and I go, oh my God. I was like, there's going to be a TikTok of 2 old guys on a dildo site, isn't there? And everybody broke down laughing. Because it was just business. We were just in tune with what was going on the thing, and he's just looking at it, and then all of a sudden your brain goes, what are we doing?
yeah. Your brain
You
catches
realize
up.
we're in public, right? Because I look at it and I go, that's very alien. What is that?
Oh my goodness.
It was
fantastic.
totally like an episode of some really good like sitcom episode of us sitting there just being serious about the business, like you'll notice here. And I go, oh, I could see doing that with miniatures. That would work really well with what we do, and yada yada yada. But it was in context, made sense. Out of context, we were the funniest thing in the whole restaurant.
That said, so what company?
It is Bad Dragon.
Asking for a friend.
It is Bad Dragon.
Bad Dragon.
Oh,
Yeah, it
that's
is
funny.
Bad Dragon.
Wow,
That's
you guys.
Scientologist says sounds like bad. It's Bad Dragon. There you go.
Watamaton knew it too.
Yeah, look at you guys. Delta's like, I didn't want to say
Learned
it.
something new
I didn't
about
wanna
a few of
say
you
it.
today.
Now everybody is now. So I just drove business to their site. So
Yeah.
I've paid back what I learned at lunch
Oh.
by telling my story. This is marketing.
Yeah.
Thank you, chat. As all of you don't want to admit that you're now on the Bad Dragon site. Baby
Jason,
J's made a mental note.
yeah. Well, there's something I want to tell you after stream.
It's insane, this stuff, anyway.
That's related to this.
Like, I would show my mother. I would go, I want you to look at how crazy this stuff is.
I mean, I've seen some of the things you sent your mom before, so. Utah Valley X-Wing placed my order last night and got my shipping notification this morning. Fist pump.
Utah Valley.
That is
Awesome. Thank
our
you.
team.
Welcome, by the way.
Crushing it.
Love to see you here on the stream. Sorry that was the first story you got introduced to.
Welcome.
I'm always worried about how, we've been doing this for over 8 years, painting on the internet with our friends on a daily basis here on Twitch. So it's old hat for us, but we forget we still have new people that show up that might walk into like an adult toy conversation because our lives are,
I know.
love that you guys knew this.
I know Scrumbly Dumpus was talking about telling people that I was paying some Conquest stuff on stream. So there is very possibly some new people in here.
Oh my gosh, Delta said, I matched with a girl whose username on Tinder was Dragon Tamer, and I thought she was going to be a nerd.
Oh,
I was
that's
effing dead wrong.
hilarious.
See, before today, I would have no idea what we're even talking about.
Can we get the Monument Bad Dragon crossover drop per bottle adult toy brought to you by baddragon.com?
He
Hella
says they have a lot of
expensive.
leftover silicone at the end of molding, so
Hella expensive in some of the weirdest units. Is that the company that makes the tentacles? I don't know.
I didn't get to that part of the store.
I wouldn't know.
I didn't get to. Luckily, we were only looking at like 2 different products because he had one that was in one colorway thing that did one thing and another side of the website that did some other thing. And it's funny because I was so technically zoned into what was happening on the website and what he was able to accomplish because his company does some pretty
Right.
amazing things. And
You're
I'm not going to
looking
tell everybody to
necessarily
go
at the
there. It's not.
content, you're looking at the presentation, like the overall.
I'm looking at how it would affect my business,
Right. Well,
right?
yeah,
if we
the
were able to do
presentation,
that, and
right.
so I'm totally engrossed in it. But that probably made it better for everybody around because it was just without context. 2 guys going, ooh,
Yeah.
like literally, I'm sitting there going, that's cool, and I'm like, then I'm backing off, going, no, it's not. Sorry, no, definitely not. That's not me. That was not me talking about that.
JG1975, yeah, you guys are fast. I put in an order this morning, got the tracking maybe an hour later. So here's a hint for you guys.
Before noon.
Well, if you get in an order before 8 a.m. on like Wednesday through Friday, it will very likely get sent out the same day. Mondays and Tuesdays are our busiest days because we're catching up over the weekend. We don't do any shipping on the weekend, but Wednesday is when it starts to level out, and yeah, they get them done quick.
Game Delay says
quick
Wadtomaton
facts.
found me on Instagram and his name doesn't seem to be Wad, Tom, Tomato, or any other variation. My world is very unsettled. His name really is Tom. He's catfishing you on Instagram.
Whoa, Tim, you saw a friend of yours using
Let's
a
not
very
do good.
big
Let's not go. That's not what this show is about. Sorry, I didn't mean to derail us. But I just had to tell that story because I thought it was very funny.
I'm just, wondering
Well, I also think it's really
about your
funny.
friendships.
Very funny. Scientologist, yeah, he told me that they have a deal where they do the custom colors. They founded their business on doing custom colors, and that got them really known, but they found that they couldn't keep up production for the custom as demand increased because the time spent for doing custom colorways. So, like, you can imagine, like, if we sold custom paint colors, so it was a very good conversation because, like I said, we're making two totally different products, but the process is almost identical for what we're doing, other than the molds. Imagine making miniatures. But so we were talking about that, and he said, yeah, so they've gone now to where they only do custom colors like on first Friday or last Friday of the month, and they'll do like, hey, we have 600 slots or 6,000 slots available for custom colors this month, and when they're gone, they're gone. And he says it literally won't last for 24 hours. They'll sell 6,000 of those things in under 24 hours when they do the custom colorways.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah. Silly.
Good for all those people.
Silly.
I have to say.
It was silly. And the guy sitting across Chris was at the end of the table, I'm here, and the guy across from us, and we have this group of like 5. The table was like 15 people, but it was kind of sectioned off, right? You click off as you can't hear everything.
Yeah.
And so the people on this end of the table were just fully engrossed in the fact that we were over there staring at this stuff. And this guy, Mike, across the table from us was just kind of like,
are you guys okay?
giving us the shifty eye. It's like, is everything okay over there? What exactly is happening over here?
Punisher. So to clip the whole thing, you were at a speed dating lunch date to understand how dildos could affect your business.
Yeah. Pretty much.
T. Schmidt says, ridiculous.
Not really.
I get it.
But
I get it, T. Schmidt.
not really, but yes.
We're all adults here, right? I'm sorry if we are offending anyone with this conversation.
Yeah.
It's also interesting because it's the fun and weird places that business interactions will take you, because you'll discuss things that are these niche. Because in the group that I'm in, our business is super niche. People can't believe that our business exists. And then you'll have somebody tell a story like that, and people are like, oh, like I know that business exists, but it's also very niche because you can't just go to Safeway and buy it.
Right.
So while people know about it, they didn't know about us. So there's like this staircase of like before you become mainstream in knowledge base, but you get to reflect on the fact that all of these things are very similar. We all have similar problems to other industries and businesses that are doing whatever it is they're doing.
Yeah.
Making toilet paper, same problems as making paint, turns out. So.
God, I love this bronze.
The bad cat just laid a bomb? What? Like in the house?
Huh? Oh. Does that mean he farted?
I think it means like maybe there was more than a fart.
Oh.
It's just been nice knowing you.
Like a real stinky poop.
Bad cat laid a bomb.
Oh, goodness.
What a delightful start to our stream today.
I like to bring humor with me everywhere I go.
You brought it.
So
You brought it today.
in new and exciting ways.
It was new and it was exciting.
That was my lunch, by the way. So. Got that going for us.
It was in the box, but that's not helping. Oh, no.
Yeah, cats pooping in the house is always a bad thing. That's why I'm not a big fan of cats. The fact that they don't have the decency to go outside.
Well, they do, and then they come in our yard.
Rat bastards.
dog
And then our
wants
dog
to eat
eats it. That's great.
Yeah. Delta said, can someone please help me with the pistol-style airbrush? I have some stubborn dried paint in the airbrush. I can see it through the paint cup connection. It's around the entrance to the nozzle of the airbrush.
Around the entrance to the nozzle, or the entrance to the body of the airbrush that leads to the nozzle? If you can see it from the paint cup, then it's in that pathway that leads up to the nozzle, right?
D for Derp said that's a really, really nice verdigris, by the way.
Thank you.
I
It
would
is super easy.
I would soak it if you see that you've got crusties in that area. Best thing you can do is take some simple green, put it in a cup, and soak the brush. If you know how to backflow, or cycle flow, it's called, your airbrush, you take the airbrush and you dip it in the cup, and you dip it to where both the nozzle and the cup are in the liquid, and then you pull the trigger, so it's pulling liquid. The soapy water is what it's pulling through and cycling, right?
So it's around whatever the needle slides into. If it were a gun, it would be the chamber. I
Like down in there, yeah, the chamber, the firing chamber, right? Like down in there, right? Yeah. So the nozzle's all the way out here. So that tube is an inch long or whatever, right? So if it's down here, you just soak it, but you'll want to do soapy water in like a coffee cup, something big enough you can get the whole thing in. Get the whole brush in there to where the water level is in the cup. The water is in the cup and the nozzle is submerged. Then pull the trigger while it's connected to air. So what it'll do is it'll pull the soapy water and rotate it through. It'll continually cycle the soapy water through there. That way you know you've got soapy water through the whole body. And then dunk it in the cup and leave it overnight. Right? Just let it soak in the soapy water. That'll loosen all that stuff up, and then you can take your cup off, right? Pull the needle out, and then get. We use the pointed. I don't know where they are. These pointed. They're harder Q-tips. They're not super soft, but use the pointed Q-tips, and then you can get the pointed Q-tip down in there and just rub it around. You can use a normal Q-tip too, but you can get it down in there, or you can use the pipe cleaner set that we sell, right? You can use the cleaning tools or whatever. And when you use I think it's that size right there. Maybe it's the next bigger one. I think it's this size. Use this size. And you take the nozzle off and you go from this direction and you push this through until you can see it in here, right? And then you just kind of do this. So you're cleaning all of that junk back into the cup area, and then you can rinse this out. You don't want to pull it back into here if you can avoid it.
And regarding the statue that Jordan is painting, that was black primer at the beginning of stream 30 minutes ago.
About 5 minutes ago, actually.
Yeah, it is.
This is the easiest way to do what he's doing.
Stupidly easy to do. It is. You stipple dark jade, you stipple green oxide, and then you stipple turquoise on top of that. And each time you stipple, you leave more of the previous layer exposed, so you can still see what you're doing. And you can see all the different layers of textures in there. And then you just take a nice big dry brush, like I'm using our DD3 here, and you just very lightly dry brush and build up layers of bronze on top of it.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to I use dark bronze first, and then I go to bronze. And then I'm going to use white gold on this one, but you could also use light bronze as well if you like.
We have a bunch of shorts and methodologies on doing it with various metallic colors, but it is the quickest way to get a down and dirty metallic color laid down. We've been doing it for years, showing you, but it's always a good refresher.
Delta, yes and no.
Yeah.
Yes, they are made for airbrush, and no, they should not be thinned.
Correct.
Game Delay said I was at a business lunch across Utah Valley just now, but I bet it wasn't a business lunch like Jason's.
The lunch wasn't. I mean, the lunch was pretty tame. That was just a very interesting portion.
What kind of websites did you look at during your lunch?
That was a very interesting portion of the lunch.
Anyway, was at a business lunch, stopped at an FLGS I hadn't visited for a while, walked out with Pro Acryl khaki, olive flesh, yellow ochre, and black green. Yeah, it was black green.
Awesome.
Cool.
Awesome.
Nice. Thank you for supporting your local game stores.
I know that yellow ochre is one of the November Discord challenge colors.
It is.
I don't know about the others, but
where, on his or on my palette?
No, I know that yellow ochre is a challenge color. I don't know what the other colors are. The others are just for you. Well, they're good ones.
So I'm being careful here to not get anything onto the red. I'm just kind of lightly stippling here.
You did visit the website during lunch.
What's that?
He said, and the websites I visited during lunch.
Nobody can beat the websites that were visited during lunch. Other than Jason. Jason's got a victory lap on that one.
A very normal non-Delta related lunch. I'm boring.
And you can see as I'm applying this stippling here that I'm being really rough with it. I'm not being super specific on where I put the color, but I'm leaving some of that color underneath. So that when I do dry brush over the top of it, I leave some of that in the recesses.
Wad Tomato said it's been kind of funny to watch online as Bad Dragon has gotten more popular and moved away from the custom stuff as much. there are dildo hipsters complaining about it.
Oh, that was the other part he told me. He told me
did?
that if you go and you look and you moderate their chat, their forum chat, that there are people that are sitting there like trying to guess what the date codes mean and all of this stuff on when they're going to start another custom run and things like that. Yeah, I mean, it's crazy. It sounds like they have an amazing
Like, there are
community of crazy people.
Yeah, they have a community like us.
He told me that one of their big issues that they've had to contend with is that whenever they ship to Germany, the people have to go pick it up from the customs office in person and sign for it and open the box because of what it is.
Wait, so like an individual person? So like if a single person said, I'm going to go online to this website and I live in Germany and I'm going to buy a little present for
You have to
myself.
go down to the customs
And you have
office,
to
pick it up,
open
and
it
you
in
have to
front of
open
them.
it in front of them to prove that it is what's on the invoice. They can't open it without you there, but because of how it's designated in Germany, that you have to, it's part of the products that have to be opened up
Awesome.
in front of
Relapse-
customs. So he said
Relapse
what they
said
did
same
is
here.
they have a lot of people that on their forum groups have started these conversations where they do buying groups. They'll say like, hey, I'm about to order from Bad Dragon. And like 30 or 40 people go in, and then they just draw straws as to who has to go. Like in
to go
Germany,
pick it up.
nobody cares. It's not as embarrassing as it would be here
No,
for you to go to
no,
the
no,
post
no.
office
Yeah,
and say,
people
we
are
need you to
very,
open
very
that. And then you
prudish
pull
here.
out the Goliath or
Yeah.
whatever the hell it's called.
Um,
He said that, okay, so here's one of the cool technology. Everybody's probably already on the site and beat me to this. But I'm going to have to call Chris and say, I think I drove a bunch of business your way. But they created a deal where they have like it's a credit card size thing on the screen. It's a space that's the size of a credit card on the website. And what you do is it's to judge scale of the toy. And they have a button where you increase the size of this space until it matches. You hold your credit card up to the screen and you match it until the size of the rectangle is the size of your credit card. And then you know exactly how big the toy is because it's to perfect scale. And they said that doesn't work for cell phones, obvious reasons, because the scale of the cell phone doesn't contain the scale of the toy necessarily. And
oh my goodness.
and so on the cell phone they did alternate reality. So you do an AR version of that, and you look at your phone and you show your table, and it shows it on your desk in comparison to whatever you put on your desk. So if you put like this
actually
miniature
really
on there,
smart.
it would show it in relation to how big it is.
Like when
to
you
the
buy
miniature.
furniture, you can say, what does it look like in my room?
In my room,
Yeah.
what does this
Yeah.
look like in my room?
Oh my God.
That's actually like really
This is like
smart.
just so high tech. Okay. Megalodon is asking if we can take a pallet delivery.
Yeah.
Oh my
Wait,
gosh.
whoa.
Asking
No,
for a friend.
no.
Wait.
Please don't. We don't have enough stuff that we can send you in return.
We need to have an intervention here.
I love this. Yes, they have a hobby too. So Relapse, you're in the UK, if I remember correctly, and they do the same thing there. I love this, Dr. Rhino. Yes, sir, that's mine. Opens box. You jealous?
Jealous yet? So, exactly, right now. So we talked about so much. Because it was really a deep dive in the business of what was going on there, because I
Yeah.
wanted to understand the struggles they had faced, because they're a much larger business than we are, but they started out much smaller. And so in talking, they were talking about all of those things, and the customs, and the doing the custom colors, and all of those things. It was pretty crazy.
Oh my gosh. Delta said when we came home from Iraq, someone bought a thing and it came with a thing, and on the way home as a prank, they hid that thing in someone else's bag. They had to open said bag for customs. They tried to slide it up their sleeves and run to the trash can.
That's not
Oh my
mine, I
God.
Customs
swear!
agent hollered. He spun around real fast and it flung out of his sleeve and across the giant room.
Oh my god, it's awesome.
The yell got everyone's attention, and then everyone saw this gigantic thing flinging through the air. Oh my
I love
gosh,
it. It's
I can
not
picture
mine!
It. That's amazing.
That's a total Austin Powers moment. That's not my bag, baby.
Yeah. Some of the toys could be classified as furniture. The AR thing is going to be fun at Thanksgiving.
Game delay, exactly.
Oh, gosh. Oh, Canada. Okay. So every order, not just adult toys.
What?
Relapse said that they have to do that in Canada too, where they have to go pick it up from customs and open it up right
Oh.
there.
Oh, gotcha.
He's saying every dang order, so I don't know if that means that he orders multiple adult toys, and
He said that there's a whole
time.
scalping ring around their stuff because they'll go and when they do the customs, people will. It has a deal where it only allows the cart during the custom time to sit for 5 minutes max. But they have people that have gone into the backside API and built programs. This is how in demand their stuff is. They built programs so that when the custom thing goes, they can have their cart last longer, and they'll just fill it up with every custom they can make, buy them all, and then sell them on the third-party market because it's that hard to get them now. It's silly.
That's crazy.
I know, I can't repeat half of chat. I'm like trying to censor chat. Megalodon said, just joking. I will send a Pledge of Massive Darkness 2 tomorrow, though, so let your employee know it's coming. So that's for Gabe.
Thank you. Don't tell Gabe.
Very happy.
Don't tell Gabe. Gabe, you're not watching this. You don't know what's happening. I love that chat is 90% docile, and it's just feral in here.
It's just crazy today.
You know, we need some days where we can just let our hair down.
Yeah.
Talk about things that happen out in the wild.
I'll check the warehouse. I don't think we have any adult toys, but you never know.
You know, we go to the pizzeria, and these are just normal conversations that happen. I don't understand what the problem is.
Good times.
What a delightful stream we're having today.
Every now and then we have some zingers.
Yeah, you could call that.
Some days you just gotta loosen up.
The thing is that it's so alien to me, and I still get the largest kick out of the fact that it just hit me like a ton of bricks that here are two old dudes staring at this website in public with all these other people around. And we're very engrossed in our conversation.
Yeah.
And to anybody that couldn't hear the conversation, this was probably a hell of a story. So I'm waiting for it to show up in my reels on Instagram. Look what I saw today. You were tagged in this post.
That or it'll start up. You'll start getting marketed too.
Oh, that too, right? The algorithm probably listened to me, so who knows what my Facebook page
Yeah.
is. But they have an influencer program, right? So they have an
course they
affiliate
do.
program like we do.
Yeah.
And he was telling me how they run their affiliate program, and
Cool.
you know,
I would be very
everything had a direct corollary to what we
I
do.
mean, it
And he was
does.
like,
It
we have to
sounds-
vet for how many viewers they have, and I go, I have to admit to you, like, having to vet that has to be a totally different level because, I mean, I imagine some of these videos these people do have hundreds of millions of views, right? And he's like, it's insane. He goes, but when you look at it, they'll have hundreds of million views on like some porn site, but then when you look at their social media reach, they have zero, right? Either people don't want to be tied to them, so they don't follow them, you know, or they just don't spend time there. He goes, but the requirement is that they have to make a YouTube video that's an unboxing of the product that doesn't go into the pornographic portions of it, and then they can do what they need to on the pornographic side. He goes, but it's a requirement. In order to be an influencer and get the thing, you have to do this. You have to make a YouTube video. So there are all these YouTube videos floating out there with not very many views of them nicely unboxing. You know, maybe they're in their little, you know, neck high, no cleavage showing suit or whatever. But it's crazy. It's crazy.
It's funny that I'm very curious what that part of that conversation was like.
Well, like I said, it's just me over here going, so how do you vet your influencers? Like, do you have a requirement for how many viewers they have? And how do you even judge that? Like, what platforms? And it's OnlyFans, and he just starts writing up, but he's just talking about it like it's just normal everyday stuff because it is. It's just business.
For
It's just
him,
numbers to him.
No, but they're just a client of his, right? He doesn't work for that.
Right.
Okay.
I clarified with him. I said, you talk like you run this business too. And he's like, no, they're a client. He goes, but we built the entire back end for how the systems know, so we have to know everything
About
front
it.
to back.
Yeah.
What he was telling me was how much they pay attention to the business so that they can write that software. Because my question started from, how do you work with a company that wants to build a custom website? Because we're in the midst of trying to figure out what we want to do long term with our web store. And so it started from that. And he used that as a use case on what they did and how involved they can get with the business, because those people knew how to make creative art, right? But had no idea how to run their business from an e-commerce standpoint. They just knew they couldn't keep up and they needed better systems. So he had everything from the way they scan their orders. They scan the product as they pull it out so that they don't have to have verification if they got everything right for the order. They scan it, put it on a tray, it goes in a box, and you don't have to touch it again. So I was digging deep on what all was working. It just was in the context of this weird world that...
Well, that's it. That's the thing, is that, you know, like, I think I've said before that being a part of a business like this, it gives me a different perspective when I think about other products that I buy. I mean, I'm a consumer, and so like when I go out and look at something, I'm looking at the packaging like, okay, this was somebody's job to put this together. And maybe it was their job to like push a button and have a machine do it, but it was still someone's job.
Right.
And like just thinking about things a little bit differently and a little bit deeper in the development aspect of things, and like the behind the scenes stuff of what creates this, like where did this come from?
Yeah, and Amazon has really changed a bunch of that for better or for worse. I think on the fulfillment side, Amazon has done some amazing things with software, what's called ERP and fulfillment stuff. They've done some amazing things with getting it down to a science on how an order is pulled to get the least amount of mess ups on pulling the right product, because they have probably billions of products.
Yeah.
We've got like 200 and something.
Yeah.
But they have robots that go pull it out of a bin, put it in a box. A person grabs the box,
Right.
takes it to fulfillment, and ships that box, and nobody has to think about it because it's just all innate to.
Yeah.
It got scanned. The system verified that's what they ordered, matched the SKU number to what was placed on Amazon to the SKU that just got scanned, and as long as the sticker was okay or the SKU wasn't messed up, it works. It goes in the box, it gets shipped. And so he was saying they had to implement something like that at a much smaller. They're not that big, but at a much smaller level. And I was just sitting here thinking about, good God, man. That would be so great, but how do you afford something like that? As a small business, the solutions exist, but how do you do it?
Yeah.
Like Jen and I talk about this all the time. It's like, oh, that would be so great. How much does that cost? Yeah. And you're talking about the kind of stuff that when you go to look at a company that makes it, call for a quote. Mm-hmm. And you can't afford it. Yeah. It's the age old, if you have to ask, it costs too much.
Yeah, if you have to ask, you can't afford it.
Yeah.
Well, I've found that companies that say, hey, call for a quote, I can't afford that. As a business, I don't think we can afford it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Most times. And most of that is like want to afford it. It's like, how many hundreds of thousands of dollars is that? Are you kidding me?
Yeah. You have to be the kind of customer that doesn't really matter too much what it costs.
Well, it does. Part of that, when you're talking business, is having the vision and the capability to enact it so that you can reap the benefits of it that will help your business down the road. It's just getting to that point where you can afford it is the problem. Most small businesses like us are like, we just bought an automated paint filling machine. That feels like
that
we just flew to the moon.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, it feels like we landed on the moon. Yeah. We beat everybody. One giant step for monument kind. And to other people, that's like, it took you that long to do that? So it's tough.
All right. I think I'm pretty happy with where we're at with this bronze. Still got that nice verdigris, but it's still reading like bronze.
Bad Dragon should produce the Brush Liquor 9000 for Monument.
Oh my gosh.
All they do is silicone stuff. It was funny, though, because in Pennsylvania, I looked at a building in Pennsylvania, and the previous owners and occupants had been an adult toy manufacturing facility, and it was like 3-story building. It was crazy. And they went out of business because they couldn't keep up with the need for customized toys in that industry. And this was back in the early 2000s. So just goes to show, I don't ever think about how can we disrupt the adult toy industry by new inventions. It feels like tires or wheels. Like, it's all been done. This has become another Business 101 conversation with Monument Hobbies. Setting you up for success. One crazy stream conversation at a time.
That's very true. All right, gonna get this dry brush all clean now that I'm done with all this.
Graham. We call it Graham. Hard from the other end as well. The software folks want to help small businesses but can't afford to sell for cheap because of the work to get things to match customers' business. That's the biggest issue, right, Graham? I'm assuming your name is Graham because of the Graham. But that is one of the big things, right? Because I have people like this gentleman, Chris, who would really want to work and do stuff for us, But he's also honest about it. He's a good businessman, and he knows I'm not able to do it until you're ready. I can help you understand what being ready means, but I can't, because you can't put one cheek into that kind of a deal. You can't,
you have to go complete.
Let's do part of it. You got to kind of implement the whole thing, and that makes it very tough. So I get that it is not an easy solution on either side of the fence. There, it makes it very difficult to.
Orc Pride would like to know if the 17 mil racks are going to get a restock.
If the what?
17 mil racks.
We probably will. We're probably going to do one final run of the range, and then we'll exit that space, is our plan. I know it might not be what people want to hear, but our goal is to not be doing that any longer. We've discussed it long and hard here. We have a new design that we wanted to implement, but there's just so much out there in the world of Etsy and such for a tabletop organization, and we can't service it the way we want because it just doesn't fit with our normal product design process. So we wind up slipping. It's always the thing that we are least concerned with restocking, and things like that. So we don't feel like we do it a service.
That'll work. Start.
So we will work with the unit that we designed will be available, hopefully, if all goes well, and we will just point everybody towards where you can buy it, and we won't be involved, which is fine. A lot of good design work went into it. We want the people that helped us with it, to be able to benefit. We have a meeting we're going to set up with them to figure out how to get that all marketed and make sense. And
Clark John said there are way too many cheap paint rack solutions out there that I'm sure are all manufactured in China.
well, that's the big thing, right? Is that it's a product that how do you distinguish yourself without making it out of this world expensive? And that's kind of not who we are. We aren't afraid to do that, but not with a product like that.
Not.
Again, it may sound old-fashioned, but Jen and I say it all the time. If we wouldn't use it, we won't sell it. And I got to a point where I'm like, I wouldn't be able to convince myself to buy these solutions, right, in a way that makes it worth putting our name on.
Yeah.
And I know that sounds stupid to people that are like, hey, your goal of business is to stay afloat and sell things. But we'd rather make stuff that...
Well, the other part of it, too, is it takes up development time in the day.
Well, yeah, it's not like it's any faster to make those things.
Right.
In some cases, it can take longer.
We can use that development time to work on other things.
Yep.
That we are more excited about or fit more of the direction that we want.
Well, and that, yeah.
Like games.
Like games.
We are way more invested right now in our game development end than any of the rest of that. So
I can contest that, or I can agree with that. I got to contest it. It's accurate. I'm having a lot of fun working on this thing right now.
awesome. That's always a good feeling.
Yeah, it's one of those things that's been assembled, it's been partially painted, just sitting in my case,
Staring at you.
staring at me. And I love the game. I love the faction that I have, and I've been wanting to work on it for a while. So, it's nice to get an opportunity to sit down and do it. It's a nice break from the Horus Heresy stuff that I've been doing. It's a lot different visuals, more of the fantasy side, which is cool.
I've been really stoked that I think it's been a while since I've had a model that felt like a chore.
Yeah.
So I'm very happy about that. I'm excited. I have Megalodon Jaws sent a bunch of the Marvel United stuff to us, so I have a whole desk full of that's next up to bat.
Yep.
I'm going to pick a duo, like a hero-villain duo to paint. I was thinking either Captain America and Red Skull, or Spider-Man, Green Goblin. We'll let chat hash it out when the time comes to figure out what we'll paint. I'll let chat decide, and then I'll pick the opposite chat says. That's usually what I do.
Jordan's model is from Conquest.
Yep.
The Fallen Divinity, I think it's called.
Fallen
Is
Divinity.
indeed.
I'm trying to make as many colors of brown out of this limited palette as I can because I'm painting a fantasy model.
That palette is pretty varied. There should be a lot of different options in there for people to use to find kind of their favorite little bits and bobs. I'm using some of this, was it red gray, plus a little bit of dark umber. And then I'm going to wash this down with the brown wash, and then I'm going to build it back up from there. Nothing super fancy over here with this. Doesn't fall into divinity, just shatter? Yes, probably.
What's that?
Orc Pride said, doesn't fallen divinity just shatter?
What do you mean?
I'll give you a minute. It's a joke. I'll give you a sec. I'll give you a minute for that one.
No, because my brain goes into what's it made out of.
I guess it wouldn't technically shatter.
Somebody explain this to me.
Yeah, it
If I
wouldn't
drop
shatter.
a piece of steel, does it shatter?
It would break. This isn't made out of steel, though. It would break, though. Sugar.
So gross. That was like my least favorite thing. My grandma used to make that.
What's
What?
that?
Gross candy. Divinity. It's a candy.
What is
Oh.
divinity?
It's a candy.
Oh,
Maybe this is what I'm missing.
It's,
I missed that too.
Here, let me.
It's bad.
I didn't like it, but I mean, as a kid, it was gross to me. But let me.
But you also like candy corn.
Oh boy, you're starting a war you can't win, buddy. Can I speaking with 9 years of experience tell
It's
you
like
how
a- shut up.
It's like a nougaty, like a white nougaty, and it's got like walnuts in it.
Ugh.
It doesn't sound awful.
It's gross.
I mean, I'll take your word for it, but
Egg whites, corn syrup, and sugar. It's
Oh,
similar
that
to
sounds
nougat,
pretty
fudge,
awful,
or
actually.
marshmallow. Was not a fan.
I don't think there's enough substance in there for me to enjoy it. It's a little too much. Just one of those. It's just sugar things.
It's like rock candy, right? Like rock candy was just
No.
sugar on a stick.
Well, that's rock candy. Yeah, Divinity was more like it was like a fluffy, chewy, like a marshmallow, like nougat.
Yeah, sure.
I don't mind nougat, but
I don't like nougat. T-Schmidt said working on the Kroot kill team for Saturday's tournament, trying to go for all different skin tones on these guys.
you
yeah,
gotta get them done
definitely. If
in
you have
time?
to paint it super quick and you don't know the rules, the first thing to do is to make sure you make it as complicated as possible to get them painted.
Yeah.
Great job, T. Schmidt.
T-Schmidt, aren't you also trying to go for best painted on that too?
Oh, well, if that's the case, if he knows he can't win the tournament, so you're just going for painting, good on you.
Yeah, I don't think winning the tournament was the problem. I think winning the painting competition part of it was the goal.
Clark John, I am not familiar with Thrills gum. Yes, Baka, I like candy corn and I dislike tartar sauce.
I guess I deserved that one.
That's me.
I guess I deserved that one.
Songer said, hello all. Any tips on how to paint marble?
Don't.
Don't.
There's always a better choice. When faced with marble, choose granite.
Yeah, marble's kind of weird one. Like, It honestly, it involves getting some other things that will allow you to achieve some of that veined rock detail.
Yeah, like the baby wipes.
Yeah, you get baby wipes, you peel them apart, you airbrush through them.
Dryer sheets.
Dryer sheets work good too.
If you don't have babies.
But some wet
Steel
wipes
wool
don't
works
work.
really great, but it can scratch the model, so be careful.
That's the other thing is like some of those baby wipes don't actually work. So you got to find the right ones. Because I had a friend of mine who was
Well, and dry them out.
Yeah.
was going through this process as well, and he couldn't get them to work right.
One guy I saw said he puts them in the microwave. I have not tested that. Do it at your own risk. But he said he puts the baby wipes in the microwave.
Baby wipes was about 23 years ago for me.
Baby wipes was 23. You know, well, then the ones you have are probably dry and would work great.
Jade, your mom made Divinity and you loved it. I don't know. To me, it was like the grown-ups candy.
Oh,
I just did not like it.
Have you tried it since you've become a grown-up?
I mean, I don't like nougat. So I'm pretty sure I'm not going to...
You don't like nougat, then you won't like nougat-related things.
When we stop believing in the gods, their divinity falls apart. It's reasonable that dropped divinity shatters.
Okay.
Thrills gum looks like purple chiclets, tastes like soap. It's terrible.
Ooh, there's my other story. My other story is that I started reading the most recent Horus Heresy novel.
I feel like this is not the same type of story that we got earlier.
Most certainly not.
No, this is the one that Lumberjack Tim is going to like the best.
Okay. Lumberjack Tim, are you still here?
So the latest Horus Heresy novel is out, as many of you know if you follow that stuff. It's the End and the Death Part 2 of 3, right?
Oh, there's still a part after this?
No
of
Milky
course.
Way or Three Musketeers.
Gosh.
Nope.
Kyle put it the best today. I walk into Kyle's office this morning and ask him how he's doing and if he was listening to it. He's been listening to it. And he goes, it kind of drags. And I go, well, they're milking this one. And he goes, yeah, it's kind of like Harry Potter's final book. Let's make it two movies. You know? It's like, oh.
Megalodon, we were just talking about T. Schmid painting his models, I think. That was what maybe Megalodon heard about Marvel United, was T. Schmid's models.
No, I was talking about how Marvel United is going to be my next session in painting.
Ah, I see.
I plan on doing some Marvel United. I want to have chat figure out what duo I'm going to do. I want to do Megalodon. I want to do a hero-villain duo out of that set. So I need chat to let me know what hero-villain do. The ones that I pulled that I'm the most excited about are Cap and Red Skull, and maybe Spidey and Green Goblin. But I'm open for other suggestions that I may or may not have.
You can for sure. Yeah, absolutely. He said, do you mind if we share the link to your Twitch when you paint them?
Yeah, oh, definitely.
Feel free.
No, we do not allow new people here. We are all about it. Yeah, let's talk about it, and we'll figure out a date where I can commit to it. It'll be after I get done with this model. It'll be the next thing I do, is my goal. Although I also want to paint the Warcry models I got, because those are going to be old, and I got those Warcry Ogres.
Oh, yeah, I remember you talking to me about that.
But that's 5 models, so I should probably do that after I do the Marvel United, because that'll take me like 8 years.
That's true. That is true.
I feel like that'll be one of those projects, the Warcry one, where I'm like, oh yeah, I'll do the whole warband. And then I'll be like, why paint the whole thing when one works just as well?
Or Spot said, chat, we need to be smart about this. We need to pick a duo he will finish.
I'm not sure you can do that.
Well, yeah, I mean, again, for me, if I need to finish something, I just need to be excited about painting it.
Yeah.
I finish lots of models.
You do.
The ones that I don't finish are generally the ones where I'm less excited about the painting aspect of it and more about the, hey, I have something I want to show you guys about how to paint that I think this model is really good for. Models like this, I'm excited about painting the whole thing. And you know, it's actually, you guys have made me more excited by forcing me to use the limited palette for November's Discord challenge on it. So,
Sorry, no adult toys in the Marvel United line, Jason.
I don't like adult toys. That was not the point of this whole conversation. That was not. I've never owned one.
You
I've
spent
never
a lot
thought
of time
about one.
looking at the website though today. It sounds
I've never
like.
thought about one. I was very scared looking at the website when I really opened my eyes and recognized what I was seeing. I'm like, wait a minute, what? People buy these?
JG said, careful when putting together the maw pit from that Warcry set. It's
Yeah.
not designed well.
Oh, okay. I'm giving that away. I'm giving that to Gabe. So I will not build it. Gabe will build it. Gabe doesn't know it, but he probably is going to build that whole box for me.
Oh, so now Jason is against adult toys. Prude.
Well,
I'm confused. This entire hobby is adult toys. That's true.
you got me there. I guess technically our businesses are more alike than we thought.
That's right.
I should have busted that joke out. I've used that joke before because when people
That would've
ask
been
us, what do
pretty
you
funny.
do? I say we make adult toys. And then
Yeah.
it leads down a whole rabbit hole
Yeah.
of weird conversations because it's not what they think. And I missed out on that the whole lunch. I didn't do that. I'm an idiot.
You're preoccupied by an exciting website.
Well, it started out of the midst of a whole bigger conversation, so it wasn't my goal. It wasn't like I went to lunch with this guy to speak about this.
No, I know. It's funny though. All right, we're gonna let that rock or that stone kind of sit for a minute and cure up a little bit. While we do that, I think I'm gonna apply some color to the back a bit.
Game Delay said, oh geez, yes, I like your paints very much, but the fact that you have that joke in the chamber about adult toys is forcing my loyalty, probably forever.
Forcing your loyalty, what?
Probably forever.
Oh, meaning that you are loyal or that
Yes.
you're giving up
Yeah.
on us?
Sounds like forever loyal.
Forever loyal.
Thunderhawk,
Oh my God.
awesome. Thunderhawk said, my LGS just started carrying your products, has made my paint hoarding so much easier.
Absolutely awesome.
What's your LGS? Let's give him a shout out.
Give 'em
Fun
the good
fact,
old
this
shout.
emote was the result of the streamer not being completely aware of the edges of her shot after moving. Huh? I don't get it. Epic loot. Awesome.
Using a bit of black and dark jade. Some coal black and dark jade here.
Oh, I forget I have black available.
Yeah.
I see. Okay.
Yeah. Coal black and titanium white. Both
I have
together.
white on the palette. I forgot to put black out because I just didn't think about it. It is now on the palette. And it is the color I need next because I have to do the stone hammerhead. And I was just wondering, like, what am I going to do? I'm running out of interesting things to do with blue.
Well, that dwarf is thick. 2 C's.
It's a good model. A lot of fun.
FLGS that you were at today is Blackfire Games in Utah Valley. Nice. I don't know, one of the newer ones. If they've had it for a while.
It's FYRE. I think he's been around a while.
Oh, has it? Okay.
Pretty sure.
The name definitely sounds very familiar.
That FLGS link up there actually, and you guys can check around there. We're adding so many new stores
It's crazy.
recently.
Thank you, Kyle.
On the
So,
on
yeah.
the biggest
Shout out to Kyle. He's
the
like
biggest
he and Philip
store
are
run
crushing
we've
it
ever
over
done
there.
all at once.
So check our store locator. Type in your address, your zip code, something like that. You might find that there's a store nearby.
Yeah, you may. If you don't have one now, check
Yeah.
tomorrow.
Yeah, exactly. Scientologist question: what is the top red Jordan used on her cloak thing?
Oh, on the like the shawl headdress thing. You're gonna laugh. It's pretty straightforward. It's 3 colors: coal black, bold power red, red fluorescent.
Coming soon.
That is it.
You can get the other 2 done, and then
Mhm.
in a few weeks, you can add that top fluorescent layer.
Store pre-order email should have gone out while we're streaming. So your local gaming stores will be able to order the fluorescents today. So if you do have a local game store you talk to quite often, if you're headed over there today, make sure to tell them to open up their monument
Check their
email, or they'll miss out on being able to get stuff for the rush. The street date for us here on the website is Black Friday. Some stores may get it prior to that, depending on their pre-order and our production schedule.
There would maybe be stores in California or Texas.
It would be stuff
Maybe.
close to the west.
If
Yeah,
you're
if you're
real
out
close
west.
to us.
If you're out east, probably not until Black Friday.
Yeah.
Maybe after, depending
After,
on
I
production
think.
schedule. But
Arctic Mini Painting said, "I'm so glad to be home finally. I hate away jobs. Also, my wife was super excited when I told her that you liked her October challenge mini."
it was
It
awesome.
was awesome.
Now I want to know, honestly, did you tell her she won something, or did you hide that because you want the stuff?
Panic Bomb watched Miniatures Den paint that dwarf on stream over the summer.
Well, there you go.
Graham, tell your stores. Go to your favorite store and tell them to send us an email. We'll get them set up. Megalodon said, "I can now broaden my horizons, and instead of just asking my game stores to carry your products, I have at least 3 adult toy stores I will ask to carry Pro Acryl."
You should. I just wanted the video of their face when you tell them what it is. Never heard of it. What is that? You say, it's paint for painting little men. I want you to say it exactly like that and send us the video. You're a hero. It will become a commercial. Which, speaking of which,
oh my god,
do we have some of the best commercials we have ever
yes.
shot in our entire lives coming your way. I can't wait to show everybody. Jen and the crew and I were just absolutely dying laughing this morning.
I've watched them like 4 or 5 times.
I also have watched them.
I just keep watching
I feel like no
them over
work
and
is
over
getting
again.
done at this office today because the commercials are so brilliant. You know, if you're on our Discord, which if you're not, you should be. Click the link. Jen's going to put it up there in chat. We posted some pics, some behind the scenes stuff of the filming that happened a couple weeks back, and I got to tell you, these are just tremendous. Our Christmas ad this year is
so
spectacular.
good.
It's so awesome.
Like the first
So
thing I
good.
thought of when I told everybody, I was like, this could be on like broadcast live television prime time. It's so good. It's really,
is
really
perfect.
good.
It's just really well done, and yeah, can't wait for you guys to see it.
Game delay.
Kraken plus 2 points for potato title. Thank you. Well, that's Jordan. It was Jordan's idea.
Yeah, we saw Angel. We spoke with him behind the scenes. Told him thank you for doing the video. He asked his crowd if they wanted to see more. He got a resounding yes. So I think we're getting him some more paints. Has he gotten back to you? Nah.
No.
He's a bad communicator, but I say bad. It takes him a long time to communicate. But
His video, I don't know if I said this already, but I was watching his video, and I don't speak Spanish. So I turned the volume down because it was distracting me to listen and read the captions. But then I kept like leaning in, like I can't hear what he's saying, and I kept like wanting to turn it up just as like a natural instinct, even though the words that he was saying would mean nothing to me. It was a really weird thing. As I was watching that entire video, I kept trying to turn it up. Phoenix Mercer said, "Jason, wait, you're going to make custom silicone paint cups and texture palette?"
you're just putting normal words together in ways that make no sense to me, Phoenix.
Of course, I will sell it as body paints, and they will order it. Edible body paints.
Oh, no.
They're not edible.
No.
Don't eat the paint. Plenty of naked minis to show them that might get them in. I mean,
There might be a
Not
whole
wrong.
world that we haven't even entered into.
There could be
where
a
we
little
could make,
corner
we could make
of the
naked,
adult shop with the
naked
adult
male
models.
and female busts and full body miniatures and paint sets and sell them in adult stores.
We could be the exclusive paint line for adult stores.
For Adam and
the
Eve.
adult miniatures.
Adam and Eve adult superstore.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Isn't Adam and Eve the one that Ninjan did they were the one that sponsored one of his videos.
Wait, did
Oh, really?
they really?
Yeah. Yeah,
No,
he had
they
it in the
didn't.
middle of his painting video. He had a sponsorship ad for Adam and Eve adult toys. I thought it was funny as hell.
That's
Well,
so funny.
does he have any control over that?
Yeah.
Well, he can
really?
accept them.
You can set like what sponsors.
So it was a sponsor on his show. Like he said, and now a word from our sponsor, Adam and Eve.
Oh, fantastic!
Yeah.
So they reached out to him and wanted him
Nice.
to.
Yeah, I'm sure there's
take
somebody
this one
that watches him that works there that was like,
Probably.
hey, would you advertise her? Or his name may have come up because of his viewership in like one of those things where it's like, hey, we have an influencer group
Yeah.
of people that have high
Yeah.
watches. Yeah. Adult Store Paint Days sponsored by Monument. This
mean-
is just a world I'm not really ready to get into. I don't know that that's how I want our brand viewed. Sorry, guys, I am prude that way.
We would definitely need a different division of the company for that.
Monument at night.
Monument After Dark. All right, let's think about this. Need more. I'm using warm brown like an absolute maniac over here.
All right, so I'm mixing some of this red gray into this dark jade that I've got going on. Plus dark jade plus coal black mixture. Mixing a touch of brown as well. Getting kind of this ugly kind of, my thumb's kind of like this desaturated kind of brownish teal color. And I'm using it for the dry brushing on the wings and on this back. I'm not even sure what this is. Wing also? I don't actually
That's
know
what we were
this
told.
is. Yeah.
That's what it looks like. It's not cloth because it has veining and webbing to it,
Right.
like a
yeah.
bat wing would.
But it doesn't have structure in the same way that
They said
like,
it was
a wing would.
growing, so it's baby wing,
Weird, yeah.
big baby wing.
Well,
Arctic, it should be email. Did you send out prizes for the challenge?
I have about half of them. I was working on it today.
Okay.
Likely story. He's hoarding it all to himself.
It's true. But yes, you will get one via email, since we have apparently solved the problem with Shopify for sending the emails out.
Well, I mean, it's still. I think
It's
that
so funny.
I don't think that box was there.
I don't think it was
there were
either.
a couple weeks
No.
like when they changed it
Yeah.
that you had to then do it second. Like you had to create it and then
And then
save
you had
it
to
and then send it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But now you don't have to do that anymore, which is awesome.
Yeah.
Wait, Shopify did something stupid?
Yes.
I don't believe
I
it.
know. I know.
You don't believe
big
me,
shock.
or you don't believe me?
I
It's
don't
a big
believe it.
shock that they did something stupid. Because they are like just
If
on
you
top
ever
of
start a
things.
business, do not use Shopify.
excellent customer service.
Do not use Shopify. Do not get.
Really quick fixes anytime they have bugs. Very few bugs.
Well, huzzah, huzzah.
I hope that somebody who works at Shopify sees us tell people not to use Shopify, because then maybe they'll
Disgrace
actually
Spear, thank you for that
contact
sub.
us.
1 whole year.
Who's been here for a year?
Disgrace Sphere.
Disgrace Spear has been here for a year. I went there.
I'm ignoring you. Disgrace, thank you. Darth Mullen says, "Wait, I use Shopify. Run,
Oh.
run far, run quickly."
Yeah. Shopify is lower on the list of problem children. Who's higher on the list?
Magento.
Huh?
There's some worse ones for sure.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, Amazon, obviously. I thought you meant like the just the platform, I guess. Why run far and run fast from Shopify? I mean, if it works great for you and you've never had a problem, then stick with them.
Horrible platform.
We have problems once or twice a week, probably.
As our business grows, we have more and more problems because they make their changes for their shareholders, not for their customers. They don't have any outreach to their customers. They've disbanded and fired a huge percentage of their staff. Like, I think it was over 20% layoffs in 2022. One of the things that went away were personalized pro platform customer service. We used to have our own person. They got rid of that because, I mean, why would they need to have somebody that knew your business to talk to you about your business when they can just have somebody overseas man a phone call? Yeah, it's horrible.
Megalodon wants to know if the warehouse sent Marvel Zombies or just Galactus.
Just Galactus.
Just Galactus was the only thing we got for Marvel Zombies, I think. No.
We got the base set.
We got the base set. Because I remember saying the scale of them was weird. They were smaller, right? Yeah. The Marvel Zombie stuff is smaller. But yeah, we got the thing that has like the Hulk, and it had like a group of survivors and a group of zombie heroes. And I think when I was reading through it, the scenario was, fight as either or.
Okay, because he said I may throw a copy of that in with MD2 if he didn't send you a copy. Marvel Zombies has more realistic sculpts than the chibi style of Marvel United.
Yeah, I really like the Marvel Zombies stuff.
I like the United. It's funny, Megalodon, because for me, it shows, the taste in painting, like the models we choose, because I don't have a propensity to paint anything IP related where I've known about it. I grew up with comics, so all those characters are really familiar to me, so I don't have really an interest in painting Spider-Man. I never have. It's where Marvel Crisis Protocol fell short for me, is I just don't care to paint the models. I like the game and all that, so I'll play the game, but the models just didn't hold much for me because I don't care.
Yeah.
But when the Marvel United stuff came on my radar, I was like, oh yes, sign me up. When I did that Thanos, I was just like, yes, paint all the Marvel United. They're so good because it's a new take on it, and it gives me it makes me feel better about the creative freedom to do whatever I want.
Whereas I'm the opposite. I like painting stuff that I like and am familiar with. Yeah. In those colors.
Megalodon's just walking around the warehouse going,
He's like, what about this? How about that?
Did he send X-Men United 2 or just Marvel United?
Just Marvel United. We didn't get the X-Men stuff.
No X-Men stuff.
Yeah.
Except for, no X-Men stuff. They got the Deadpool thing.
We did get the Deadpool.
I don't know when that came out. But we don't have, like, Wolverine or any of that
stuff. Correct, yeah.
That might make me oust chat and say you don't get to choose what I paint if we had some X-Men stuff. It's like a chibi Colossus and Wolverine. Psst. Come on now.
For me, it would be Magneto. Oh, I love that character.
You would, you heretic.
Sorry.
You're not sorry. Why do you say you're sorry?
Okay, you're right. You know what? I'm not sorry.
You were not sorry.
Sorry, not sorry. Emma Frost is cool. Yeah, I like... X-Men is my favorite of the Marvel stuff. Like, of the Marvel comics, X-Men is my favorite.
Punisher said, I guess if you guys are running out of space for all these packages, you can feel free to reroute them to me for overflow storage.
We're going to need it.
Said, okay, so MD2 pledge and X-Men United pledge will ship tomorrow.
Oh my god.
You crazy.
Yeah, you crazy. Megalodon, you so crazy.
You're so crazy. I am. Well, we love you for it. Thank you.
You are awesome.
Keeping us set for life here.
Oh, one of our viewers sent me this. just stacked to the teeth and cool stuff to paint.
Oh.
It's true.
I got Sanguinius I want to paint.
Yeah. Oh man, that Sanguinius is so cool. I genuinely want to get one of those Sanguiniuses. It's so cool.
good.
Punisher's maybe rethinking his request to reroute packages to him because he said, I say that, but 3+ years in and I'm still working on Hate.
Yep. That is a very large project.
Hate is a huge project, but one of the best ever. The large models is the only reason I backed that.
That's Hank,
Well,
right?
I backed it because it was Adrian Smith, but one of my favorite artists.
Hank the Mall Cop?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep, Hank and Lydia
Yeah.
and all of those. So yeah, it's some of my favorite stuff. But I still am in that, oh yeah, we haven't touched 90% of that. I have the big dude on the Buffalo mutation mount that's in my office staring at me because I need to paint that. Not for any other reason. I literally got those models, like I said, because I love Adrian Smith's art. The models were amazing, and there was a game coming out called Warlords of Erewhon from Warlord Games that was a miniatures agnostic fantasy battle game it plays like AOS sort of, but it has the bolt action system going with it.
Ooh, that sounds like your favorite thing.
Yeah, and so it was like my favorite rule set of all time.
Yeah.
Fantasy models and agnostic, so I could use whatever I want. So I got the Hate box so that I could use all the Hate models as like a Chaos Warrior Viking tribe that I put together
that's
for it.
awesome.
And I did. I played in a slow grow league, but unfortunately Warlord didn't make enough copies of the book because they underestimated how popular it would be, and so
really?
none of the stores were able to get enough of the book. Well, I say none. Our local store where we were doing the expansion league at only got like 5 copies of the book.
That sucks.
And we had more people that wanted to play, but none of us shared books with one another. We were all in different areas of town. None of us were like, great friends to hang out. And I was like, hey, we can all get together. I don't feel good about making copies, but we can all get together for dinner after here, and you can read through it, or I can loan it out to somebody, and you can bring it back next week. And just, it was just nobody wanted to do that. Everybody wanted to own the book.
Yeah.
Because they didn't sell miniatures, so everybody wanted to have something. And so it didn't work out very well.
Yeah. Arctic, that is the Conquest Fallen Divinity.
Yes, sir.
I wrote it down.
Megalodon, yes, Adrian is an amazing artist. It was a brutal hit to us when I asked him if he would be available to do some artwork for our upcoming game. And he let me know in no uncertain terms that not for the foreseeable future. And he did pay me a kindness, and he said, after looking at all your stuff, I would really, really like to work with you guys. He goes, but I know it probably won't ever happen. I appreciated his honesty, because he didn't hang me out and say, get back to me in December, or anything like that. And then, of course, the Cool Mini or Not announcement came out months and months later, because this has probably been a year ago I talked to him. Cool Mini or Not, silently getting all of my favorite artists working for them, you bastages.
Was he actually working for them?
Yeah, Adrian Smith. He may not be working direct, but he's contract with them as official contracted artist.
Oh, nice.
So kind of like if Mark Silvestri or somebody was working for Marvel on a stint of books and was pretty much exclusive. I feel like that's probably what it is.
It's a very similar
But Paolo is, and a lot of really good artists are right now. So they've got a bunch of really, really good artists working for them that are the kind of artists that I reach out to when I'm like, hey, do you have any time to do this work for us?
Yeah,
He
we'd
said,
love
sorry, not sorry. We keep him pretty busy.
Bastards.
Source wants to know if you could explain how the airbrush manages to be dual action and pistol grip.
So dual action and pistol grip are not mutually exclusive things, so it doesn't matter. The dual action story is just that it has a spot where it does air by itself, and then adds paint to the air. Single action is when you pull the trigger, you get paint and air mixed together. Single action is what you would see from a cheap home sprayer or something like that. Or some airbrushes are actually single action. It causes sputtering, as you can imagine, because paint that builds up on the tip, will immediately just come flying off the tip because you get air and paint all together. So dual action is just the ability to feather that air with no paint and then add paint into the airflow, which keeps it nice and precise without the spatter. That's all it is. And so the trigger does that. You can feather it back and forth. The kind of placebo of the top trigger being that, you are told that you can, alter the airflow mid-spray is a little bit of it is exactly that. It's a placebo. The valve that's in top trigger airbrushes, I don't care if it's Harder than Steenbeck or whose, doesn't have enough resolution in its throw to be able to reduce or increase the air pressure enough to really change for the viscosity of material we spray. For inks, totally different story, right? A lot of airbrushing came from spraying inks and very, very low viscosity products, dyes, things like that on photo retouching and other types of mediums. And it can work okay for that. The one thing the top trigger will do is it will allow you, as you have the thing pulled back and spraying paint and air both at the same time, that you can let off of the trigger, and it will just dead flat stop the air. But that can sputter too, so I don't see that as a benefit, right?
So it's
You always want to ease out so that you're lowering air and paint at the same time. So the idea is always avoid flutter of air at the tip so that you don't get like spattering of paint.
So it's just in stages? Is there a tactile feel when you transition from just air to also paint?
Yeah, there's a détente, I would call it, in the trigger on the pistol grip. So you pull it back and it's loose at the front when it's just air, and then it hits resistance as it starts pushing the stainless slide back to add paint into the mix. So you get air and then you feel a spot, and then when you pull it past that spot, you start getting paint. So it's easy to ride that fine line of paint, no paint, I call it, which is where I do most of my painting for detail work. You want to be right there where you can just kind of barely move your finger and get paint or no paint so that you can, get tight detailing done. It's a great brush for that. Works like a champ.
It's a lot more noticeable than you might expect. You will definitely feel that.
Yeah, you can't miss it.
Yeah.
I mean, you could if you have no feeling in your fingers.
Yeah, but then you're gonna have a hard time airbrushing anyways. To be fair.
It could be.
So I'm throwing on a thin application of our brown wash all over the stone. Trying to keep it from pooling too much. Just want to get those nice crevice details in there. And then I'm going to come back with a couple of dry brush layers. And then I'll do a little bit of color filtering over it with an airbrush afterwards, would be my guess.
A question.
Uh-huh.
You ever wonder, like, this dwarf has got, like, ram horns, right? And dwarves are known to ride rams as their mount, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do you ever wonder if, like, you walked up to the ram with a helmet that had ram horns on it, and, like, a cup made out of a ram horn? Like, is the ram kind of skittish?
I mean, is a ram...
Does it wonder how this relationship is going to go when you're wearing dead friend parts, yet you're asking me to carry your butt into battle? Is that really a true friendship?
Is it
Is
capable
that an
of knowing?
alliance? Is that a bonding that you really trust?
Is it capable of knowing, though? Also, maybe you just take those things from your friends who have fallen in battle, and you keep them with you as an effort to keep some semblance of their memory together.
Okay, that's viable.
Yeah.
So the Rams might know that your respect for their brethren,
correct, exactly,
the historical presence of their brethren remains through the homage that you pay by wearing their parts and drinking from their other parts.
I mean, I wouldn't necessarily put it that way, but yeah, pretty much.
Okay. I could get with that. That fits the narrative.
Yeah. Seems like it's good enough an explanation.
Darth Mullen got it. All right. All dwarves are Aries. Wait a minute. Your friends aren't weird when you wear random friend parts when you hang out?
What happened?
I think Tom just admitted that he's next on Dateline.
My friends aren't weird when I wear random friend parts. Oh.
I feel like he just admitted to the next Dateline episode. Get OMG guy on the horn.
What a weird chat today.
Well, I mean, to be fair, we started with talking about.
We started with the joke that was on the billboard at the strip club that I drove by.
That's true. We did start with that. But then we continued on to weirder stories from Jason's lunch.
These are just life tales I'm telling.
True.
These are growth experiences for everyone involved. There's nothing odd here. I'm sharing, and I shouldn't be made fun of. I shouldn't be made to feel like sharing is not correct.
But that's not true. That's not what I'm saying.
That's not true.
Sometimes sharing is, in fact, incorrect.
Oh.
There are times where
Jason,
that is
you
the
might
case.
ought to kept that to yourself. I've had people say that to me before. I never understood.
Oh no. Okay, we got a couple questions here. Darth Mullen, first of all, said, "What is color culturing with your paintbrush?"
What?
Not a term I'm familiar with.
Yeah.
Can you explain? Like, I mean, I know you can't explain because you're asking me what it is, but can you explain the context? There's a lot of terms in art, especially in miniature art, that mean nothing until you understand the way they're being used.
And then Megalodon said, "Hey, are you able to do a random draw from the chat? I will send a Simon-themed Monument Hobbies fan appreciation bundle while I am at the warehouse. If they are in chat and respond, they can DM me their shipping info, and I will send a surprise bundle of something."
Oh, wow.
Can you set up a giveaway?
Set up a giveaway, maybe? Yeah?
Oh, you probably can't. I don't know how to do that.
I don't know how to do that either. Can't help with this one, unfortunately.
So, I mean, yes, loving this idea.
Comma, give Jason a moment.
I am in this.
I will need to
new
come sit in
role,
Jen's
so
place.
Jason and I are gonna have to swap for this.
I like the idea. We will do it. You hear that, chat? I don't know. Does chat want to do this?
Oh, that's true. Maybe they don't want it.
Maybe chat doesn't want it.
Chat is notorious for saying no to free stuff, though. That's why I can't give away go bags.
It's true. Every time we bring it up, they're like, "No, you guys can keep them."
I want to give away a go bag every day, and chat's like, nah.
Yeah.
And then,
Nah.
Source Does said on the topic of airbrushes, any take on Fengda, TimberTech, and Air Goo compressors? And he said, EU customer, so not all brands are available to me.
I don't know those.
Yeah.
Being completely honest, though, compressor technology, when you're talking about the hobby compressors, it looks like it has a cylinder that contains either the pistonless motor or a single piston motor in it, and then it might have another cylinder that's a tank, and then, rubberized feet and a valve. All of those are going to be pretty good. Over here, the masters that you can get on Amazon are notoriously Chinese. Most of them are made in the same Taiwanese or Chinese factories. That's just a given. There's like probably a handful, maybe half a dozen factories that make all of them and stamp a different name on them. So in that regard, chances are they're all fairly decent. What I tell people to do is look at the Iwata compressor, look at the bigger named compressors that are in your area that you know are of a high quality, and then find the brand that looks as similar to that as possible, because that's the key. Those places aren't going to retool a whole lot, meaning they're not going to be completely different looking. So you'll find a lot of those chassis look identical. And the only thing that might be different is like the plastic piece that's on it or something like that, because most of those companies can't afford to like redo the compressor completely on their own. Some, like Iwata, will put a box around it so you can't see the internals, and that box hides the fact that it's the same compressor as somebody else's. But within reason, as long as I would say, and you would have to translate this to euros, I would say that as long as it's in the kind of $100 range minimum, like that 85, 95 on sale kind of $85, $95 range and up, you're good. Anything cheaper than that, I start to worry about the quality of craftsmanship that goes into it, and it does generate heat, and heat deforms and will reduce the lifespan of metal over time, so you wind up with a compressor that just kills itself over time, and depending on how much you're going to use it, it means you'll have to rebuy it, so it's worth spending around $100 US on a compressor to get you out the gate, for sure. You can go paint my model.
Marvel Zombies Core and Galactus too.
What?
Oh my goodness.
Wait. Can I ask a question? What is the retail value of that Galactus? It's like $5,000.
Galactus.
Yeah.
He's gonna send us somewhere.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So you better ask whoever wins this, can you receive packages that are larger than a small child?
And do you want it restricted to the U.S.? Do you need to big?
Broken Chef says, Jason, what you use from Limit Palette for that gold? That is the dark yellow green, the Payne's gray, and the yellow ochre so far on the gold emblems. I'm not very far along with it. So Thorspaw says, have I ever mentioned how much I like Megalodon Jaws? We go way back. We've been friends since grade school. He just doesn't remember me. Now's where you pull the guilt trip on him, Thors. You say, I've always really wondered why he didn't remember me, and yet I remember him so well. I forgot what I was over here for. What am I doing?
Setting up a giveaway.
Okay.
Setting up a giveaway.
Sorry, my voice is probably really loud on this microphone.
Oh yeah, because it's in my.
I'm going to turn it down, but remember to turn it back up. Jen has the nice, quiet voice.
That's yours.
Okay.
That's the.
Okay. Let's move that so Baby J can see what he's doing.
Appreciate it.
Then we go to Streamlabs. Streamlabs.com. I wish I had seen the verdigris technique before I started painting this Warcry terrain. Looks so good. It's so easy, Jay.
It's so
we have it
so
on our
easy.
shorts on our YouTube channel, and we've been doing it for years, so you'll see it on all sorts of the old videos too.
The process is on the jade
log in
or
to Twitch.
the bronze short
A lot of
and
videos for you.
the rusty metal short. It's all the ones that I did the troll, the Lord of the Rings trolls in.
15-day free trial? No thanks. We don't use Streamlabs. Sorry. You go to CloudBot. You go over here to giveaways. And you go complete because we had one that was still running. So it should say in chat that has ended. And then we go add giveaway. Custom. We'll say the name of this giveaway is Megalodon is Cray. Megalodon be Cray. C-R-A-Y. Kids these days. Megalodon be Cray. All right. Timer duration is a lot. We'll pick it whenever we want. 15 minutes? Okay, so it's 15 minutes. We'll do 15 minutes. And the prize is Gigantor freaking Galactus and Marvel Zombies starter box. Because once again, Megalodon.
I know they're calling you crazy and stuff, but we do actually genuinely enjoy you and appreciate you, Megalodon.
All right, and then we have to do the. Oh, I'm sorry, that's not it. The name is.
Oh, that's the
The command, yeah. So we have to do package toys. No. Adult toys.
That's gotta be adult toys.
Adult toys. Adult toys, everyone. 15 minutes, confirm. Boom. There you go. Start. Yeah, oh, hang on, let me edit it. Make sure I got everything right. Advanced. It's only advanced. Must be a follower to win. Gotta be following. Right? No cost, only one entry per person, no subscriber bonuses, Confirm. Launch. Exclamation point. Adult toys. Oh no, it's exclamation point giveaway. It's always just giveaway. Dang it. Yeah. It's always just giveaway on Streamlabs. I don't think you can rename it. You have to pay that ultra fee to be able to name your giveaways. There you go. Exclamation point giveaway, everyone. You can only get one entry, and there is no waiting, as in wait. Everybody has equal chance. Good luck, and thank you again to Megalodon. Awesome stuff.
I think I might do some Marvel Zombies stuff after this. Because I do really like that stuff.
We gotta get Jen back up here to paint Deadpool still.
It's true.
Yeah.
It's sitting over here on my desk, and I'm gonna paint it if she doesn't. It's very cool.
Well, if you guys want to do a chibi stream, I can do the producing for a couple of those days. If you guys want to do like a Jason and Jen paint Marvel United thing, it'd be fun.
Get the band back together.
Get the band back together.
So far, there are only 23 entries.
Only 23 of you want free
23.
stuff? Marvel United, or I'm sorry, Marvel Zombies is it a zombie side rule set?
Yeah, I believe so.
The models are amazing.
They're really cool.
The Hulk one is superb. They're a
That's
nice,
true,
manageable
chances are looking
scale.
pretty
They're kind of
good.
small.
Yeah, I guess this is a good question. Megalodon so there's a lot of other stuff that's on that Kickstarter. Will that stuff ever be available for retail? Or is it all Kickstarter exclusive?
But yeah, modified to fit the theme. Is that an answer to your question?
I
don't know.
don't believe
Yeah. Took the zombie side rules and modified it to hit the theme of Marvel, which would make sense.
Yeah, Jay, they if they're not on the store locator and they want to be, just have them send us an email. support@monumenthobbies.com. We'll get them added. Some of the stores that buy through our distributor, we don't know. So,
Yeah, due to confidentiality stuff, the distributors won't give us the names of the retailers all the time, so
Oh, cool.
they have to reach out to us.
Alright, got all this fur painted up a little bit.
we also have Deceased launching Tuesday, which is our DC Zombicide game.
Yeah, I've seen that. I've seen the
Oh,
stuff
wow.
for that, and it looks really cool. Same kind of vibe,
Yeah.
right? But like the Superman is really cool. There's a bunch of really cool characters in that one.
Wait, I gotta look at this. I haven't even seen it. I didn't know that thing was launching. What?
Yeah.
Deceased launching
Deceased.
Tuesday.
Sir, you need to obey the algorithm more. You are not getting served the correct ads.
Apparently
because
not.
it's all over my feed.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's done a good job of reaching my eyes, my eye holes.
I'm a little floored at how good the name Deceased is.
It's pretty good, I have to admit.
Yeah, DC made the breakout on that one. They definitely got the better stick. I just love that the same manufacturer is able to land both those licenses.
Kudos. Because that's pretty rad.
Because Night Models had the original Marvel game,
Yeah.
along with the DC one. I don't know what I want to do with his little cape. Another shade of brown. Yet another shade of brown, perhaps. Maybe take some of this. We do some of this, and some of whatever this pile of glop is I got here. I'm just kind of throwing colors together right now, and it's gonna be whatever this color is. I just made khaki.
I think it's very possible that I will be to Marvel Zombies what Gabe is to Massive Darkness.
I'm gonna need you all to settle down.
I mean, I like all that stuff is really cool. It's really, really, really neat.
I'm gonna need you all to settle down.
Mm-hmm. Just wait, we're working on some big stuff for 2024. Jeebus. Okie dokie. Where are we going with this? I think we're going to do some highlights on the feathers. And then at some point I'm going to have to finish up the red. But I kind of wanted to block in the rest of the model today, which I've actually gotten a lot of work done in 2 hours. Blocking in kind of the rest of the color. I'm very happy with where it's at. It feels like it belongs in this world.
You need to tell the powers that be. You could have a entire paint line for all these games. We've already spoken to Jose over at Big Child quite a bit.
Gabe, yeah.
They could use our paints.
Megalodon's getting crazy in here.
We can have like custom branded sets for all your Marvel stuff. I'm just saying. You know a guy.
I'll take care of it, Megalodon. Just in case.
You might know some guys.
We can do that.
Yeah,
Actually, it was a better
Thank you.
color for the bread loaf than it was for the cape.
I kind of like it, although you're right, it kind of would be.
Just trying to set up some base colors around this guy as I have the limited. But anytime I'm working with a limited palette, one of my first goals is to, I focused in on the skin to make sure I could get the skin set kind of how I want it. And then the beard color, because those are the two main focuses for me. The armor in the front, I kind of already knew. The armor and the helmet being silver, because I wanted to do the beard in kind of a goldish, orangey color. So too much gold is going to overdo it. So just the gold and the green is going to work as a trim. Lots of silver, because we can do that with the colors that we have for non-metallic. And then set up the colors that I know are going to be the focal points. And then go and try to find colors for everything else in our limited palette that, is not too redundant. Obviously, it's a fantasy model, so there's going to be a lot of leather. So just finding enough colors of brown to keep it interesting, and I think we're doing pretty good there.
Thor's, you do that at your own risk, because if you do win, everybody now knows where you live.
Don't freak out. I'm going to do kind of a fleshy base for this bread first.
Somebody likes us.
Thank you for the
Thank
follow.
you for that follow. We have about 5 minutes left on the giveaway. 5 minutes left on our stream.
Again, big shout out to Cool Mini or Not.
Yep.
Huge shout out.
Megalodon coming through for you, gang.
Well, FireArc, it's okay. Glad that you made the follow today, because that's how you can. That's the only way you can win. Gotta be following.
Speaking of Megalodon, what's your favorite of the games that you guys do?
Uh-oh.
I'm curious.
On the spot. That's like asking us what our favorite colors are.
Or what are some of your favorite? Like, are there any that you regularly reach for?
What's your top shelf?
Yeah, what's your top shelf?
Oh my gosh. She said, don't worry, whoever doesn't win, I will do more of these leading up to the holidays.
my
I have a
goodness.
large warehouse. And to answer your question, He-Man Power System.
Oh, really?
Okay.
Marvel.
Not what I would have expected.
Marvel Zombicide.
Interesting.
Okay.
Then Blood Rage.
Okay.
I was never a He-Man fan. Not for any reason other than it just wasn't really my thing. As a kid, it was around, but, you know, I was kind of outgrowing the cartoon scene, and He-Man was just a little too,
Too cartoony for you?
maybe?
All right, I gotta go lock up before we do this giveaway.
Okay.
Those are your top three.
Flesh loaf. Gross. Go back over it with some yellow ochre once I have that flesh base set down. Thin the yellow ochre out a ton. To get the crust bits set up with a little bit more of a yellowy warmth to them.
Don't forget, everybody who may not have been here 10 minutes ago, there's a running giveaway. Don't forget to follow and hit ! giveaway for a chance to win some awesome goodies.
Absolutely.
Don't want to have anybody miss out on that here opportunity. Is that Potter?
Maybe.
It's little Potter, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. What's up?
That's Eric. Then we take some warm brown. We don't have to mix all these colors on the palette. I'm just going to use them
Somebody likes us.
direct on the model in kind of a quick little wet blend. Keep the paint wet and mobile.
Woo! Nobody saw it. Thank you, everyone, for the follows. And thank you for participating. Thank you again for Megalodon for offering to send out a bunch of cool stuff to some of you guys. You have until Jen gets back. Or did it set to stop at 4?
Set to stop in 15 minutes, so it may shut off
Oh, okay.
and say it's ended, at which point in time it's ended. We won't do the drawing until she gets back.
Yeah. So bear with us until Jen gets back, which should be any second. And when I say any second, I didn't mean any second. We got a Jacob, chair guy.
I have to come in here for this.
We got the Gabe in here.
This is exciting.
What's up, Jabe?
Exciting.
We are currently in the midst of collecting people for a giveaway for some awesome Simon product provided by Megalodon Jaws in chat. We are giving away, or I should say he's giving away, a copy of Marvel Zombies starter and the Galactus model.
That Galactus model is big.
It's huge. Saw that it's up on the shelf with its head off because
Yeah.
it was hitting the ceiling.
I heard you talking about that walking through the office. So funny.
Oh, that's good to know. Thank you, Scrumbly Dumpus. Apparently, I can glue the Fallen Divinity into its square base now, because you can't use it for First Blood anymore, which is their skirmish game.
There we go.
That bread looks delicious. It does actually look really good.
Is it a loaf of bread?
Yeah.
Is that what that is?
Yeah.
He's taking a bite out of already?
Yeah, he's got a biter. The crow has probably, the crow on his hammer has probably been pecking at it.
Somebody likes us.
Right.
Funny. Oh, that's looking really good.
Thank you.
It's really cool.
I'm feeling a lot better with it now that I kind of blocked in a lot of the color and started doing like the base and stuff like that. It's definitely a much better version of it than my previous iteration was going to be, for sure.
Is that did you use black wash or did you use the not oil?
For what?
All the stone.
This is just brown wash.
Okay.
Yeah, just brown wash.
Super good.
Mixed in a little bit of glazed wash medium and some water. And yeah. Got a nice bit of stone. And then I gotta glue this thing onto its square base now, which is cool. I don't have it with me, so I'll have to bring it up from home tomorrow.
Looks like Source asked, what size nozzle do you use for priming with airbrush?
0.3.
Yep.
You can use anything bigger, but you don't want to go bigger than a 0.5 probably
Yeah.
for miniatures. You'll put out too much paint.
I've used a 0.5 most of the time. 0.3s obviously now. I would never use a 0.2 or anything smaller than that.
Definitely not.
It's just, you're not going to get enough paint out for what you're trying to do in the amount of time that you want to spend doing it.
Do our airbrushes come with a 0.3 or 0.2?
0.3
0.3,
is
okay.
standard. That's the best all around for miniature painting.
I was like, oh shoot, have I been priming with a 0.2?
No, the 0.2 you got to buy.
Yeah, okay, cool.
Do we offer that kit?
Yeah, the upgrade
Yeah.
kit for the 0.2 is available. There you go, bread.
I'm having a freaking blast with this.
Some yummy bread. What kind of bread do you think it is?
Sourdough.
Sourdough.
Yeah.
Are you a sourdough boy?
Yes, sir.
It's a sourdough loaf.
Remember when Paradise Valley Bakery used to be a thing? And they would do sourdough like bread bowls with potato soup? It was the best.
Man, that, yeah. Oh.
Broken
Yeah.
Chef, ask again. I've used silver. I want to add depth with shadows. Am I wrong in thinking Payne's Gray would maybe dark yellow, green, washes, glazes, kind of like your stone tutorial? The Payne's Gray is always a great shadow, as is dark purple. Things like that and that blue-purple range are always fantastic for darkening up with shadows and then adding colors into that. That's what I'm doing here on this model is pretty much everything like the Payne's Gray for the shadow for the gold. Here, the silver is starting from Payne's Gray for my non-metallics, but I'm using variations of Payne's Gray on pretty much everything to add in some darkness. I went with red and Payne's Gray mixed together for some shadow on like the leather cuffs and things like that, just to have some fun with it. But yeah, Payne's Gray is never a bad idea. And then you can mix colors in as you need to.
I think my plan for the basing on this is to do kind of like a dark earthy base and have some kind of reddish earth in there with some pigment or something like that.
Yeah, the bird been munching on the bread. That's why he's giving an angry side eye. That's what I wanted. I wanted to be like, like, what the bird? Right.
What the bird?
What the bird?
Welcome back, Lord Commander.
Did you see the? Thank you. Did you see the Broken Chef?
I answered Broken Chef.
Okay.
Yes. Speaking of this month's palette, I didn't end up having any of the yellows, greens, or oranges, so I made purple and didn't really get many fall vibes. If you don't have like you could use like if you've got the base set, right, Slavic? Because you could use like gold and yellow. It's going to be a lot brighter. But if you have the base set, you could mix in gold and yellow and orange to some extent to get yellows that would work very well. Bakamaro fuses literally and admittedly messing around and ends up with amazing bread. I started with flesh tones just because, again, we're working with limited palette, and I wanted to be able to make it look like that. Bread has a unique kind of brownish because of how it gets cooked, and So yeah, I feel like I did okay with it.
I think it looks great.
It looks like bread to me.
It does look like bread.
Now I want a loaf of bread.
Now I want a loaf of bread.
Well, what I really want is I want what Gabe just described.
Tim, that bread looks delicious.
I mean, what I really want is want a clam chowder bread bowl. That's what I really want. I'm not gonna lie. That is something I would really, really like.
You can get it at Panera. It's probably not great, but
not as good as Paradise Bakery used to be.
Broken Chef, no problem, man. That's what we're here for. Always feel free to ask. Sometimes we might miss it to do exactly what you did and restate it. Sorry if we missed that. Okay, so it's giveaway time.
Yes.
It is giveaway time.
Giveaway time.
So Jen has the drum roll machine.
Hold on, I have all of it. I have all the equipment.
She is so in control, it's not even funny.
I need to figure out when to press and when to click. All right. Ready?
I am ready. Is everyone else ready?
Dude, where's my jaw?
Dude, where's my jaw? So fitting, in fact, for a Marvel Zombies winner.
Yes.
Dude, where's my jaw is the best name that could have possibly won that, by the way.
Dude,
Megalodon, how about that?
Here?
How about that? Dude, where's my jaw? Now he's going to get a bunch of
channel.
zombie models.
Yeah.
Some of which don't have jaws.
Yeah, a bunch of zombie models and one gigantic one.
Dude, where's my jaw? You got to speak up. You got to be here to win, by the way.
Be here.
So we need you to respond in
Show
chat,
yourself.
or we will pick another winner. Dude, where's my jaw? There you are.
Hey, there you go.
Congratulations. Congratulations, dude.
We found some jaws.
Awesome. You're going to love these. They are great models, and the Galactus is so daunting, I can't imagine. I've been sitting around staring at it going, how in the hell would I paint this?
Do you want me to go grab it?
Because I need to do it with, rattle cans or, put it in a car spray booth. It's so huge. But
I feel like, get it and
do you want me to go grab it?
Sit it in the chair.
put it on the table in between the chairs, although the table's not in view.
The table, we wouldn't see it, but
I'll
you
go
could
grab
hold
it.
it and sitting in the chair.
Yeah, Gabe should go get it and just show everybody. If you haven't seen this thing, it's an absolute monstrosity. It's amazing. It has 2 right arms and 2 head choices.
Gabe, come back holding it like a baby.
So that you can pick either to have zombie Galactus or non-zombie Galactus, and there's a scenario you can run where it's either non-zombie Galactus and Silver Surfer fighting against the zombie heroes, or the non-zombie heroes fighting against zombie Galactus and Silver Surfer. So there's some neat stuff you can do in the game. There's rules for it. The team here wants me to write rules for Marvel Crisis Protocol for Galactus, but I don't even know where to start. It would just be it does everything and kills everyone if it rolls X amount of crits. And you lose. So...
Dude, where's my jaw? Make sure that you connect with Megalodon and send your shipping address so you can get this amazing prize. Gabe is laughing coming down the hall.
It's so stupid. Scientology is designed for magnets.
Hold it like a toddler.
What are we talking about? The Galactus? No, it's literally
In a
in 3
chair.
pieces. It
I
comes.
don't even know if I can. That's gigantic.
It comes put together. All you have to do is pop the right arm in, and it ain't coming out, and pop the head
You
on.
did.
And they're
Awesome.
made tight enough fit to where you can interchange them so that you can paint it all up and do whatever you want. It doesn't even need magnets.
Heads, different head knee. Oh, that sounded weird.
It'd take $100 worth of magnets to keep the arm on.
I mean, did you guys listen at all to the stream today? Did you hear what we were
I
talking
work
about?
for a living, Jen. I can't
Well-
sit and watch
Wow.
Dang!
No, I didn't listen to it today.
I know sometimes you guys have it.
I
all.
do. Sometimes I do.
You wanna?
I'm just being mean.
We'll just ask Jason about his lunch.
How was it? Oh, I did hear that part. I heard
Okay.
the beginning.
What
Yeah.
about that?
I watched the first like 10 minutes. It's like I
Yes,
should go back
that's
to work.
when it happened. All in the first 10 minutes.
Yep.
There's Galactus's head, and there's a space marine.
Here's his arm.
Oh, yeah.
Zombie arm.
And here's Galactus's arm. And
Ghost Hunter
again,
said the one time
here's
I'm
a
glad
space
I didn't win.
The one time I'm glad I didn't win.
Yeah. Good luck.
Yeah.
it's crazy. It's absolutely huge. It weighs like 800 pounds. Feels just
Yeah,
very
I'm like
strong.
sweating over here right now.
Yeah.
Feels just very, very strong.
Alright, let's go put it back.
Back in the shelf.
And Dude, Where's My Jaw just won one of those.
Yeah.
So Megalodon Jaws is absolutely crazy.
The
So,
idea of painting
Dude,
that
Where's My
something
Jaw?
like
The only unfortunate thing about your winnings is that you have to paint Galactus within a week of receiving him, or we come to your house and take it all away. So, need photo proof, a video of the progress, no pressure.
I'm gonna laugh when Dude Where's My Jaw just actually does it.
That's like Jacob. I told Jacob, he put together the freaking, what's that guy's name? Nagash. And like literally built it and painted it. Built it in one night and then painted it the next night. I was like, that's not fair. That's the rule for Cool Mini or Not. I'm not even making it up. It's in the contract. It's in the contract. You didn't know you were saying. He goes, that's
And he
insane.
must use the November color palette.
Yes.
Oh yeah, and it's all limited color palette, so you have exactly 6 colors to paint Galactus in, and everybody knows what color Galactus is, right? None of those colors are in the palette.
Correct.
Have
Correct.
fun with that. Have fun with all that.
Oh.
And with that, though, we have come to the end of yet another amazing Monument Hobby stream. I have really enjoyed this new schedule. I hope everybody else has been too.
Yeah, I am as well.
We have switched our schedule. Normally, during this part of the show, we tell you our schedule, and it is normally not what we're about to tell you, but it is now.
But it is now.
So now that I've confused everyone, we stream from 2 to 4 Arizona time. It's always been Pacific. It is no longer Pacific. It is Arizona time.
Mountain Standard.
So 2 to 4 Arizona time here in the U.S., 5 days a week, Monday through Friday. So you always know what time, you always know what day. We'd love to see you back here. If you're new here and you have not pounded that follow button, please do it now. We're the manufacturers of this wonderful Pro Acryl paint and all of the brushes and things that you see us using.
Dude, Where's My Jaw said it's a good thing I own every Monument paint then.
Well, I love that answer.
Oh.
Dude, he just
For
wins
now,
all
you
the
do.
way around. Kudos and thank you so much for all the love, everybody. Thanks for hanging out with us, watching some paint dry. We will be back tomorrow at the same bat time, same bat channel. Stick around for whatever raid we're going and hit all those links that Jen just threw up in chat, and we will catch you on the flip side. Adios, everybody. Have a wonderful night.
Bye on the flip side.